I'm Michelle with 2 L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. Well, guys, shots have been fired. Of course, the big news broke yesterday that Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow herself, is suing Disney. And the fun's beginning. This is where the fun begins, it seems, because you have these two parties now kind of going after each other. And what I want to look at is Disney's response to Scarlett Johansson.
This could be an interesting legal ride.
It is. And, you know, people are kind of taking sides. I will take the side as information comes out of what is legal. To me, this is a legal thing. Because people will say, oh, well, Scarlett Johansson made $20 million. She doesn't need more. Sure, $20 million is a lot of money.
But if that's not what was stated to her, then in that case, she is owed that money.
Yes, that's what we need to wait and see.
Right.
We'll have to wait and see before I pick a side, per se, is what was in the contract. Did they fulfill her contract, or did they breach it? Did they violate her contract? Because even though $20 million is a lot of money, if she could get up to 50 more million, as they're saying, I understand why she's upset if they did breach the contract.
Basically, in the words of Rihanna, she's saying, blank better have my money.
Yes.
Disney.
She wants her money. So let's look at, because most of you have heard all yesterday, people were looking at just the fact that Scarlett is coming after. And it is kind of entertaining, let's be real, for those of us that don't particularly love Disney at the moment, to see someone, because how many people do you think they've probably broken contracts with, but those people don't have enough money to sue Disney? So you have to find it at least entertaining that someone who has enough money to sue Disney is suing Disney.
Well, as a couple people in the chat over on Nina's channel, Nina
yes,
Infinity,
go check us out from the Queen's Council last night.
I noticed they were kind of rightly commenting in the chat last night. She has FU money.
Yeah,
you know? So she can go head to head with us.
Yeah, and she's going to, because yes, as we're going to get into, they paid her $20 million, which is a lot of money. But getting an extra $50 million, that's a lot of money too. I mean, that's kind of like set your grandchildren up for the rest of their life money. So
right.
I understand her. Again, it's a business. If they promise something and that's in the contract, then I understand why she wants it.
Contract if it's not fulfilled.
And again, we'll have to wait and see. And I'm sure the lawyers and judges will look at the contract to decide, did Disney breach or break her contract? So we'll have to wait to see.
That's why we're not making any big judgments.
Yes, but we can go ahead and look at what Disney, what they said. So let's pull that up. Let's actually, we'll do it this way. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. So this is Disney's response. There is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the virus that YouTube doesn't want me to say. Disney has fully complied with Miss Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she received to date. Okay, so my issue with this, and I think it's going to be other actors' issues with this, is the tone. The tone of how they addressed this was let's just say they didn't take the high road.
Okay, do you want to know, like, the kind of the first initial impression of how this reads to me? It's almost like they're kind of shaming her.
Yes, absolutely.
And like, oh, you frivolous actress that, she's received the $20 million to date.
How dare you?
They're trying to kind of smear her in this response.
And they're playing on our emotions, ladies and gentlemen, by trying to, oh, how hard it's been for everyone during this time. They're trying to get the public opinion to be on their side. That's what they're doing.
Oh yeah, this is this rich actress that wants more.
Yeah, even though it's a filthy rich corporation,
It
greedy
is.
corporation that wants more too.
So are they the pot or the kettle?
Yes. And so I just find this very interesting. Again, the way that one, they're trying to appeal to it's so emotional, this response. This should have just been a legal response that didn't try to appeal to emotion, but just tried to represent facts and information. That's the way they should have approached this.
There's a time for drama and a time for facts.
Yes. And this is a time for a corporation just to present facts if they wanted to release a statement. And they didn't have to get into any of this in the statement. They just could have made a very general statement about how they'll be looking into it moving forward or something like that.
You didn't need to bring the panini into it or any of that.
Yes. But for them to say that this is sad, especially sad and distressing in its callous. She's callous in her disregard for the horrific things we've all gone through with the virus.
And prolonged global effects.
Yes, it's just...
I'll reserve comment there, the prolonged.
Yeah. I'll
stop.
But it's just, wow. And it makes you wonder, ladies and gentlemen, it makes you wonder, how will other celebrities view this? Because say even in sports, people really pay attention to how the organization treats their players. And right now, I mean, Scarlett Johansson has been a team player for over 10 years for Marvel and for Disney.
Yeah.
And she finally, they've done her wrong in the fact she should have had a trilogy years ago. So they finally give her this movie, and it is unfortunate with everything that happened in 2020 and it being pushed back and pushed back. But if it was, and see, that's where we have to wait. If it was in the contract that it was exclusively to be in theaters where she could make more money on the back end in her contract, and they violated that, then that's very problematic. And again, we'll just have to wait to see, is that in fact in the contract or not? But here's what I was trying to get to. What are other big actors going to think when they look and see, man, they just really kind of smeared Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
I just think the way they approached and the way they worded that was so poor that possibly other major actors or actresses are going to maybe question working for the House of Mouse.
That, but then also from Disney's perspective, it's kind of like, once again, I think they were kind of like, look, if you try and come against us, we'll make you look bad.
Yes. They've done it before, guys. This isn't the first actress, even in the last 12 months, that they've smeared. So we'll see how this goes. Again, not that I really care about this money situation, but I am someone who tries to stay on the side of what's fair. And if that's in her contract, then they need to make fair. Then they need to make it right. And it is, at the same time, it's just humorous that someone who actually has the money to sue Disney is suing Disney. I can't. I've got to be real with you that does kind of make you chuckle a little when you see this war that there, and now that was like a declaration of war, basically.
Scarlett's got some balls, is what she's saying.
Well, and I'm saying Disney was like, no. Like, forget you, and their response back to Scarlett. So it'll be interesting. But Scarlett
see how this plays out.
Yes, because
keep you updated.
Scarlett is a bigger name in Hollywood. So we'll see. And I was thinking this morning, she may totally be finished with superhero roles, but maybe Warner Brothers and DC may want to pick up the phone, since they see that clearly her relationship with Disney is probably over. Maybe there's someone that she can play in the DC world.
Hey, she'd be a great addition.
Yeah. So who knows? We'll see where this goes. But I feel like this is probably going to be played out for many months. So this is interesting, and we'll see where it goes. But what do you guys think? Or do you guys think it's interesting or funny that Disney's being sued? Do you think ScarJo should just not care that she could have possibly lost up to $50 million? Share your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. But that is it for this show today. And everyone, remember, as always, to be a force of light. All right, bye guys.